Welcome back, Zwifters. We are back with round 2 of the Zwift Racing League, and this round is City Showdown, so expect urban routes and showdowns. This is race 1, and we are back with a TTT on the Greatest London Flat, 31 kilometres with 222.5 metres of elevation for all categories. That's right, we're in London. No segments, no power-ups, just you, your teammates, and that little voice in your head telling you that this is probably a bad idea. This route's got everything: rollers, short punches, false flats, and escalators that give you enough false hope to make you think you're flying right before your legs fall off. Now, I know what you're thinking, what's to know about TTTs? And you're right, they're pretty standard stuff, almost uninspiring, unless you're a team captain. Then I've got something special for you later in this video. But as always, we'll go over the course, talk strategy, bike selection, and the best Zwift workouts to sharpen your time trial legs. So strap in, Zwifters, this is your round 2 race 1 recon. Okay, let's run it from start to finish. Turning left out of the pens, we roll straight into the course with its massive 7.5k lead in. You've barely left the pens before hitting this short, lumpy section of the course as you pass through the London Loop banner. By the 1.1k mark, the road flattens out and directs slightly downhill into the tunnel, where it continues flat and down until the 2.1k mark, and then the rollers kick in. Use the first 1 to 2 kilometers to help settle your team and start executing your turns. Remember, efficiency and cadence discipline is the name of the game here. Having said that, this will all be disrupted shortly when you hit the 3.5k mark with a right-hand bend up Northumberland Avenue, a short 400 metre 4.5 pinch, and yes, you get to do this twice. After taking a sharp left-hand turn at Trafalgar Square, you'll be delivered a little downhill love before the road flattens out with a right-hander. This section of the course is about as flat as the course gets, so captains, get your team back in order and nail those turns. A good result here will help you get ready for the slow drag up Constitution Hill, hitting the hairpin at the 6.4k mark, and that slow drag turns into a deceptive descent. The speed you sacrificed getting to the hairpin will be returned as you make your way back to the mall at the 7.1k mark, passing under the sprint banner at the 7.5k mark. There are no segments and no power-ups, so get that thought out of your head. With another false flat up to Admiralty Arch, riders hit Trafalgar Square at the 8k mark. Powering around this square, and it's onto the Strand before hitting the second hairpin at the 8.8 kilometre mark. Coming back along the Strand, you'll scream through Trafalgar Square again onto Cockspur Street and then Pall Mall as you begin to eventually make your way out to the rolling countryside. There's a short bump at the 10.2 kilometre mark as you turn right, lasting 300 metres, and then another turn left with a relieving downhill section. Keep the turns tight and consistent. Remember your power numbers whilst on the front. At the 11.3 kilometre mark, you'll dip down through the Hyde Park underpass and come back out along the drag back up from the other side. At the 13 kilometre mark, we see the road straighten up, but I'll be honest, I'm not sure which road we're on now, but it doesn't really matter because it's not like you can turn anyway. Reaching the 14.5k mark, we have a nice, long, unrelenting section of the course back along the Thames River for about 2.5 kilometres before turning right across the bridge. And I know the river isn't pronounced Thames. It's pronounced Thames. And then it's downhill into the underground and whee as we go down the escalator and out into the countryside. Remember to put your hands up in the air for a secret 50-watt boost. A short bump at the 18.2 kilometre mark will give you a feel for the next part of this course, but don't worry, there is no Box Hill climb to worry about. This short 600 meter drag will end at the 18.8k mark before the road flattens out and tends downhill again. Reaching the 19.7 kilometer mark, the road drags up again for about a kilometer before the road flattens out in this country outing. Rest assured, there is a slight downhill coming before heading back into the underground at the 21.8 kilometer mark. Reaching the escalator at the 22.5 kilometer mark, the team will need to get out of the saddle and punch this in order to stay together up this short 14% pinch before re-emerging back into London. Reaching the London Bridge at the 22.9k mark, there is still 8 kilometers left of this royal sufferfest. Crossing the London Loop banner again at the 24.1k mark, you'll hit that same bumpy drag we experienced at the start of the race. Hold this through until the 24.7k mark before heading back into the downhill part of this course and into the tunnel. With just 6k's left, you can literally smell the finish line. The rollers should be familiar here as we approach Northumberland Avenue again at the 27k mark. Power up this pinch towards Trafalgar Square again. The remainder of the route is mostly flattish downhill with 1 or 2 rollers to mess with your rhythm. Turning right onto Birdcage Walk and then onto Spur Road. I found the names again on a map. And then finally onto Constitution Hill. After the hairpin, you are left with a 1.1 kilometer smash to the finish. Empty the tank and go all in. Every second counts and you don't want to be left guessing after this is finished. Being pipped at the post by another team who came in a couple of seconds under you stings like a bitch. TTT strategy. At the end of the day, TTTs are a team effort, and trying to provide a strategy that works for everyone at all power levels is next to impossible. However, I do want to point out that your 4th fastest rider across the line is your team's time. So what does this mean? It means that as long as you finish with 4 riders, your 4th fastest rider's time will be the one that counts, not your 5th or your 6th. Sure, everyone knows that the more riders you have, the faster you go. But this isn't a group therapy session where everyone gets a participation award. You are racing and you want to win. If one of your riders is fatiguing and beginning to blow up, don't be afraid to chop them off if it means that your overall speed can be maintained. Sure, it does mean less time to recover for the others, and the team might slow down a little bit, but it's definitely preferable to limping along at 70%. But don't worry, it's happened to all of us at some point.
I'm off, guys, I can't.
First 4 riders, just, you're doing marvellous. That's it. Nathan, you're out or you're in?
I'm out.
If you can, mate.
Now, in my opinion, there are 2 areas of the course where, if you have 1 or 2 weaker riders, you might consider letting them go. Number 1, coming into the countryside at either of those 2 long draggy sections. If the rider can generate 1 mega turn on the front before letting go, even better. But if you can keep your average speed high through here, you have every responsibility as a captain to do so. And number 2, the second spot in my opinion would be as you pass through the London Loop banner. There is still 6k's to go at this point, and that drag up before the tunnel might be a deal breaker at the late stage of the race for some riders. But don't worry, everyone's friends after the race is finished. Zwift TT Calculator. Okay, this is the bit all of you captains have been waiting for and didn't jump ahead to check out first. I use the Zwift TT Calculator, links located in the description below, created by Zwift Gopher, to organise my team based on power numbers, how hard we can go, as well as how efficiently we work together with our turns as a team. I can then generate an image which I share with the team, listing the important information that we all need to know. So let's run through how this works. After going to the website, enter your team's name, which is optional, and then add your riders to the roster using their Zwift IDs or manually and click Add Riders. I've renamed my team with generic names for the purposes of this video. If you need to edit a particular rider's details such as weight, height, FTP, etc., you can do it here. You can then move your riders from the roster to the race sheet by dragging and dropping them, or using the group icon to move them all to the race sheet, or the down arrow icon to move them one at a time. From here, you can adjust the team setup and choose an appropriate target speed. Adjust the power or duration for each rider to set an appropriate intensity factor, IF. 100% is a good starting point, but be warned, anything much over 100% and you run the risk of the riders blowing up and not being able to complete the TT. Drag riders to change the order if you want to manually control the order in which everyone takes a turn. I normally select the team intensity, how hard you are going to make everyone work, and the team efficiency, how drilled the team is with taking turns, rolling off the front and staying in the draft, and then select the auto set speed and auto order. This gives me a good base from which I can make minor changes. Then choose the course you'll be racing from the drop-down list and make any other changes such as individual sock colors. Don't forget, you can hover over most of the icons for more information. If you're happy with how it all looks, scroll down and turn on or off the various image export settings and finally click Create Image. This will generate a team race sheet you can share amongst the team, highlighting the order, pull power on the front, target speed, as well as expected efforts in second, third and fourth wheels. I hope this helps. And if you have some time, check out the link to the Zwift TTT Calculator Discord channel in the description below. Bike and wheel choices. As in my past recons, I'll provide both Stage 0 and Stage 5 bike choices. Stage 0 bikes. First, KX Tri at level 40. Number 2, Canyon Speed Max Disc at level 31. And the third option would be the Scott Plasma RC at level 19. As for upgraded Stage 5 bikes, again, number 1, KX Tri. Number 2, Canyon Speed Max Disc. And number 3, the Felt IA2. So basically, the KX Tri is the one you want, upgraded or not. But if you wanted some incentive to upgrade your TT bike, the difference between the Stage 0 version of the KX Tri and the Stage 5 version for 1 hour at 300 watts is 45 seconds. As for wheels, you want as much disc as you can get. Go with number 1, the DT Swiss Arc 1100 die cut discs at level 40, or 2, the Zip 858 Super 9s at level 37, or the Zip 808s Super 9s at level 34. Workouts. Okay, here are my Zwift workout recommendations for this week, and you are going to love them. Number 1, the Ringer. Duration 43 minutes. The Focus, boosting your VO2 max just above your FTP. Why it's great? This one perfectly replicates the TT. It teaches pacing control and mental discipline, exactly what you need to hold that edge for 20 to 40 minutes. And number 2, high intensity recovery, duration 71 minutes. The Focus, recovery when effort goes just below your threshold power. Why it's great? Perfect for race day realism. You'll learn to recover while still working hard, just like when you're taking turns on the front in a TTT. So there you are, Zwifters. Another ZRL race and another London TT. But like any race, you only get out of it what you put into it. And if you put in as much as you can, you might just surprise yourself. Good luck out there. May your legs stay strong, your pacing be perfect, and your team be legendary. Hit like and subscribe and drop your team's time in the comments. Let's see who's the real deal this week.